Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Connor, here with my father,
Kevin.
And today we are looping back to a band that we haven't covered in a while. I didn't tell you what we're doing today.
No, you said you're going to keep a total secret, so I don't even know what that is.
1975. We're returning to the 1975.
Oh my God.
It's been a while. It's been 2 years since we did a brief...
Has it been 2 years?
Being funny. Yeah, it's been about 2 years since we did Being Funny in a Foreign Language.
Wow.
We're going to go backwards a little bit and listen to a brief inquiry into online relationships. I know in the U.S. it's inquiry.
Inquiry, yeah.
But we're Canadian. I became a 1975 fan when they came out with their debut. I enjoyed it. And then I saw them on tour with their second record. I Like It When You Sleep because blah, 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 blah. It's a long title. I still love that one. The first two are great, but the reason I want to jump to this one is because I feel like it's definitely the band getting into their weird shit, like experimenting a lot.
Yeah. Any saxophones?
I don't
remember.
Think there might be a saxophone or two, yeah. So I'm going to let this play from track one, the 1975, into track number two. Give Yourself a Try.
That was movement, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Quite different. Ooh. Yeah, you hear it.
Totally different.
Totally experimental with the vocals. Definitely the Bon Iver treatment, eh?
Yeah.
Huge. His voice sounds different.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm really starting to get to know his writing style.
Yeah.
That's guitar, right?
Yeah.
Cool. It's synthed out, eh?
Yeah.
The effects on it. That's a funny line about it.
I love the riff.
Yeah. Sounds like George is playing a program kit, right?
Yes.
I'm glad you... now I know what a zoot is. If I ever find a gray hair in my
one of your joints. Yes,
yeah.
You can call it a zoot.
That was a fun track. I really, really, really love that riff. I thought it was a guitar that was totally synthesized. But it is
a guitar.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like right at the beginning, and then I was like, "Is it a synthesizer?"
No, it's guitar, and they do play it live.
Yeah,
it's funny. That was the first single off the record, and I hated it.
Did you really?
I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And now it's one of my favorite 1975 songs.
Crazy,
made.
Yeah.
It's like I just love the witty lyricism.
Yeah,
him going through different ages.
Exactly.
It's not in chronological order or anything. He's just talking about, he was 20. I think he was 29 when he wrote it. Talking about getting STDs at 27.
Yes,
isn't a vibe.
Yes,
and
beware. I'm just warning you, right?
Yeah, don't get
just
STDs. Yeah, at my age, it's still a vibe, right?
Yes.
But 27, no. That's
no.
He cut it off. I remember reading in an interview. He said it was just a line that he came up with. Because people were like, "What do you mean getting STDs at 27? Like you're dating?" Because he was dating somebody at the time.
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, I wasn't, sleeping with people. It was just a line that I thought was funny."
Yeah.
And then
doesn't always have to happen.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know if Jane is a real person or I
can read that for you. Yeah.
If it's just a story,
Yeah.
what is...
Jane is referring to a fan of 1975 who took her own life.
Okay, but it's not... Yeah, her name's not actually Jane, I'm assuming.
No.
They changed the name for that.
Jane had this tattoo.
The box tattoo,
Yeah.
which is the 1975 tattoo.
Yeah.
And it's him talking about, Jane, she took her life at 16 and he was 25 years old and, scared to go outside, and kind of just showing like...
Yeah.
I don't know, two different perspectives of things.
He got a good capture of sort of the ages and stuff like that. When your vinyl in your coffee collection is a sign of the times.
Yeah.
Right? That's
you get spiritually enlightened at 29.
At 29, yeah.
Track number 3, Two Time.
I'll tell you, I've only been one album, and you showed me a single, Guys.
Yeah.
When I hear a 1975 song, I'm pretty sure I can pick it out.
Yeah.
There's just a flavor
Certain
about
ones,
it.
yeah.
But I can just feel. Well, as soon as I hear his voice, too. I love the one in the background.
Yeah.
That's what my mind's like at 3 a.m.
Was 2 times, don't think it was 3 times, can't be more than 4 times, think we need to rewind, you take some
I love the progressing of the how many times.
Yeah.
rewind, you take some boy sometimes,
Hear that?
The doubling.
Yeah, we're getting the double with some auto-tune in there.
Yeah.
time it's your time,
That was a fun track. That was a fun track.
So 1975 fans that are bigger fans than I can probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that was the second single, because I remember hearing that after Give Yourself a Try, and I was like, I'm not going to like this album. Because
Really?
that song,
Yeah.
to me at the time, I was like, I don't know if I didn't feel 1970. Now it does. It feels 1975, and I can't deny the sound that it brings this 1975 feeling. Maybe that's because I've listened to it so much, but at the time I remember not liking Give Yourself a Try. I found the guitar odd and stuff. I like the lyrics, but I was like, I can't get into this groove.
This guitar just keeps going
It kept going the whole time, and I couldn't get into it. And then this to me felt like too repetitive, and I was like, I don't know what they're going for on this record. Once I finally got the whole album in context, like front to back, those songs to me are highlights. Not so much Two Time. That one's still great, but it's not even close to my favorite on the record. But Give Yourself a Try, for example, was one that I completely did a 180 on. And same with Two Time. I like the song now. It's fun. Track number 4, How to Draw.
Oh my God, gives me. I know it's this time of year. It gives me real Christmas feelings.
Definitely, yeah. Well, they got the song Wintering. I love that song.
Yes, that's
one thing they've always been good at on albums is making these soundscapes.
Yes.
Well, you haven't heard the other ones, but the
one you
have, yeah.
Okay, I got. Was Justin Vernon on this or what?
No,
because that was just crazy how it's
you
used.
can still tell it's Matty Healy.
I know, but I'm just saying the vocoder is used exactly
it's the same type of
same
style,
way.
yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
It really sounds like beatboxing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Eh? Fucking some great trills. Hear those?
Yeah.
I'm fucking with this beat.
It's
wild.
great.
I like it a lot. I can see how people can get fucking whacked out on something and go to a club, man, like this. I love them keeping the feet in there.
Yeah. It's your big foot fetish guy.
I love feet. You know what I really like what they did at the end there? I like that they had this full electronic thing, and then his voice was manipulated there, and they had vocoders and everything going, and then they just stripped it back and then stopped there, and then they had a piano in the distance about 20 feet away, and you could hear feet walking, and that brought this
humanized.
Yeah, it humanized everything that was going on. Like, you know, I found it to be a really cool experimental track. I don't know why it's sitting where it is.
Yeah, the placement of it.
The placement or what it really means.
Well, I know what the first part, how to draw specifically. I think it ties into the whole internet theme. I've not learned how to draw. What if you die with all the cameras showing where we are? Like, I don't know how to draw. You don't know how to draw.
No.
That was something that people had to know how to do, you know, before the internet, before cameras. You know, you go back a couple centuries. That's why we have some of the best paintings and stuff.
You had to draw for everything.
From maps, to document history. Everything was drawing. Track number 5, Love It If We Made It.
Fuck, this goes hard. I like this. This is a banger already.
I
man.
told you.
The fucking His voice is killer, and the pounding, just that. Yeah, I got to get into these lyrics because I really like the song, and I want to know what.
Yeah.
This fucking chorus is great, eh?
I love that left guitar pull you can hear. Let's start. That.
Yeah. This must have been a big hit, though, right?
Yeah, it's one of the bigger ones.
Yeah, that was great. That was fucking great. Lyrically, I got to get into it. It's a social anthem.
It's a very political anthem. It's kind of talking about stuff that happened around that time.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear about the little peep line, the beach of drowning 3-year-olds. I don't know if you remember seeing that.
Yeah.
Then the last verse, he's actually directly quoting things that Trump said. I think that I moved on her like a bitch. I don't know if you
yes.
And then the thank you Kanye, very cool. That was one of his tweets when Kanye was doing his Trump support. So he's directly criticizing the U.S. government.
Oh, wow.
And it's cool that Matty wrote a lot on Genius on here for that one. I don't know if he does for others or not, but it's one that definitely worth looking into because I feel like the lyrics really enhance the listening once you've kind of got them.
Yeah, because the song with it just by the vibe of itself is you feel the
strong.
It's strong and powerful. You can feel it, right?
Yeah.
And to get these knowing the lyrics. This one, the fossil fueling masturbation immigration. Fossil fueling masturbation is in reference to the fact that we're all doing these things to generate electricity, and then the main use of the internet is for pornography, and we're all guilty. I'm not judging anybody. Don't worry. What you do with your lovely genitals, it's none of my business, but it does happen.
So there's a lot to read on there directly from what's the quote from the horse's mouth.
Yeah.
Why is that a quote?
I don't know. Right, straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah. Do horses talk?
I don't know where that came from.
I've never seen a horse talk. Anyway, one worth definitely checking out again and looking into the lyrics. We'll keep going.
That was hot, man.
Track number 6. It's titled "Be My Mistake."
Sounds like right now. I'm gonna just guess it's gonna be a little bit of a ballad. There's gonna be some piano.
I don't think there's any piano.
Oh, okay.
There's a little bit of trinkly piano in there. Yeah, you're right.
I thought more of solid piano, but
the smell of your hair reminds me of her feet.
I like that.
Just really liking feet on this album.
Yes.
Then be
Oh, interesting track.
Yeah, basically about not being
Faithful?
Yeah, faithful, yeah. Not to God,
Yeah.
because he does have a track like that.
Does he?
It's on the last record, so I should clarify.
Sometime.
You know what it's like? Listening to his voice is like coming home.
Yeah, and it's just gotten better, I think.
Yeah.
Like with his newest record.
Gonna make.
I love that. I love it so much.
That live.
They leave that in. It's like I got a Spotify piano list
Yeah.
that I go through, and you can hear the bench creak, you can hear his feet, you can hear the clicking of his pedals.
Yeah.
I love all. You can hear
lighting his cigarette.
Cigarette. Yeah. You can hear all this shit, right? I love it. That was a really, it's funny. It's like it's not a nice song.
It's not a happy
It's
song.
not a happy song, but it's a very beautiful song.
It is, yeah. You can admire its beauty and how good it sounds while also being like kind of kind of grossed out by the lyrics in a way.
Yeah.
The same way that
Yeah.
like you can really enjoy a film and find it amazing, but you can only, watch it once because it's just too much emotionally.
Yes. Yeah. Can I just read this part? Because this is the one line that you mentioned, and it's the smell of your hair reminds me of her feet.
I didn't mention that. You did.
I did, but you said you're talking about a feet again,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A standard of typical femininity reminds the singer of the least conventionally beautiful part of a girl he used to love, her feet. The juxtaposition shows how much more he cares about his former love than his hookup.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of, that part.
Yeah, that's kind of what I
You got, yeah.
got from that line specifically.
I just want to clarify. I was intrigued with the line. I was not
the
intrigued with the feet. Yeah.
well, that's what I just wanted to make sure. Yeah. Track number 7. Sincerity is scary.
Gotta give it to George for his originally out.
Originality with the drums.
Yeah, like he's got a Ringo thing going.
A little bit. Yeah.
He knows how to. Did not expect that at all. What is the time signature here? 2.
Irony's a case pose, culture is to blame. The jobs you having to be human, I'm assuming you balloon when you remove the dirty spoon and our sections. I feel like you're running.
Fuck, I'm really messing with his drums.
Yeah.
He's like, the timing is.
Why can't we be friends when we are lovers?
Does it seem a little late?
Yeah, it's an odd
signature, right?
yeah, for sure.
I like that track. I thought I wasn't gonna like it at the beginning because it was just like
It was odd. Yeah.
the timing was off, and I'm like, I'm not gonna get it. Then the horns came in, and then we had this Dixieland jazz going on.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was a single or if it was. I know there was a music video, so I don't remember if it was a single or if it was the music video. But I remember listening to it, and it was another one that I was like, this doesn't do it for me. When the album came out, everything started to connect and grow on me. And
the dots were connecting.
Yes, exactly. And that song I like. Track number 8. I like America, and America likes me.
I'm scared of dying. You're set on fire. Am I a liar? It's a designer. It's set on fire. Listen, babe, say so we know.
He's really brought a lot of elements from the rest of the album into this one track, eh?
Yeah, for sure. So the most sonically different on here.
I think it was a very powerful song that I missed a whole lot on. I think there's a lot more going on, and it was fucking moving forward in a way that was really delivering the lyrics.
Yeah, of like gun control in the United States.
Is that what we're talking? Yeah, no gun required. I'm scared of dying. It's fine.
Kids don't want rifles; they want Supreme. Those kind of lines.
Yeah.
There. For me, that's like probably my least favorite song on the record. To me, it was just from my personal opinion, it was a little too standout-ish. You know, with the trap drums and the auto tune. Like it just didn't feel like it connected with the other songs. Like there wasn't any. I don't think there's any similar drums on any other track. Track number 9, The Man Who Married a Robot / Love Theme.
This is a story about a lonely man. He lived in a lonely house. The man, whose name was Snowflake Smasher 86, turned to his friend the internet and he said, "Internet, do you love me?" The internet looked at him and said, "Yes. I love you very, 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 very much. Anything you say to me will stay strictly between you and the internet." And so he did. The man shared everything with his friend, all of his fears and desires, all of the places he had been and was going, and pictures of his penis. He would tell himself, man does not live by bread alone. And then he died. In his lonely house, on the lonely street, in that lonely part of the world.
I do like the love theme. Kind of sounds like a funeral type thing with those horns for the guy, the lonely guy. So what do you take out of that song?
Like lyrically, or just like overall? I'm going to be like honestly frank. I found it on the cheesy side.
Yeah,
I found it like I know Fitter Happier, right?
Yeah.
And I know the way they did that. First time I heard that, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Second time, I went, "Oh my god!" And then I fell in love with it, right?
Yeah.
I just felt like it was just it wasn't needed.
It was too on the nose.
You know what? That's exactly
on the nose. That's kind of how I felt, and I still feel the same with "I Like America" and "America Likes Me." I just feel like it's unnecessary in its sound production, whereas at least this stuck to the theme of the album.
Yes, with the piano
and everything.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna go with the 2 tracks that I don't like on this record, everything else I like. Track number 10, Inside Your Mind.
Poof. Thought it was gonna be the Who.
We do get some. We're getting into the 80s territory of the side of this album now, so you might start to like these songs a little more.
I've been watching you walk.
You went deep there, wow.
Inside your mind.
Wow, his vocals are nice.
Yeah.
Really. George didn't have a lot to do on this album.
Yeah,
really,
except for the sincerity.
Yeah, not a lot, right? He's got a tambourine going. He's looking at pictures of Charlie. Wow, I find it hard to believe that's him. You know that?
He's got a lot of vocal range.
Yeah.
Slower paced,
slow
paced. But yeah, I like the vocals. I like that's not one of my favorites on the record, but it's I think it's a solid track. Like it's not.
I thought his vocals were really cool to hear him go in the lower area where he was going. There was little bits. There were points at the beginning in verse 1 where he had a little bit of fucking Morrissey. Just little bits. If you listen to it, I'm like, just it's strange, and that's probably because of the lower, being lower down, right?
Yeah, and people compare him to Morrissey.
Do they?
Yeah, like just because of not for vocal abilities.
Controversial.
Just getting in controversies.
Oh, okay, yeah, no. There was little bits in there that I heard.
I would say Matty Healy is definitely nowhere near Morrissey level
of controversy.
Controversy.
I've never dipped into the Morrissey controversy, so I'm not.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if it's worth your time. Maybe just listen to the Smiths and have a good time.
Yeah.
Track 11. It's not living if it's not with you.
See, this is, you know what? I was gonna say it. This is the 1975 I like.
Yeah.
This is from being. This could have fit on being in a foreign language.
A little bit, yeah.
I really know what you mean about this album now being all over. Like it's really. Matty's really good at taking these serious subjects and making like a brilliant pop song out of it, eh? So the not living has to be the drugs, right?
His heroin.
Okay, yeah. Was he as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
Matty
okay.
was.
So this isn't one written from him.
No.
Oh. George is playing some drums. Great song, great writing, great track by Matty Healy in the 1975.
Yeah, so you asked if it was, you said it is like from Matty's perspective. You might have not caught the lyric, but he says, and Danny ran into some complications. He falls asleep during conversations. He's got to search the street when he's on vacation. And the worst thing is that I'm in the same situation.
That's it there.
So that's him talking like from his perspective. So Danny's a character he made up, but he is referencing his own problems. I love the lines. Specifically, if I choose, then I'll lose. All I do is sit and drink without you. It's funny because it really could be seen as a very simple love song. It's not living if it's not with you. All I do is sit and drink without you. That could be like applied to if you the person you love doesn't love you back.
Exactly.
I'm gonna sit and drink.
Distract my brain from the terrible news.
It's not living if it's
not with you.
I can't stop sweating or control my feet. So all these lines are applicable in a kind of love romantic way, but it is pretty clear that it's not about that. It's not written from that perspective. Track number 12, Surrounded by Heads and Bodies.
Sounds like an orgy.
Yeah.
Nice.
She wears it like a dress.
Nice.
Those jangly pianos are really the whole they follow the whole record.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think there's one song without them. To me, it's a very inspirational record in terms of like making me want to create. Just for the weird shit that goes on throughout all the songs. Like, do you hear little squeaks of vocal things and stuff?
Yeah. That's what's so great is like, Quedeca said, there is no rules.
Yeah. And that's what this record kind of reminds me of.
Yeah, there is no rules. Just create.
And the twinkly.
They always they're the key of the king of the twinkles, at the end.
Yeah.
Matty Healy penned this song in dedication to a girl, Angela, who was also a patient in rehab
with him
while he was there to recuperate from heroin addiction, which is the subject matter of the previous track of the album. It's not living if it's not with you.
Yeah, so those two kind of go hand in hand, and I like that song. It's quite beautiful.
Yeah, that's you know what, and what's really cool about this here is that we've been talking about Matty making up personalities and
people.
Yeah, and this one we know is like
it's based off somebody.
It's based off somebody.
Her name's probably not Angela.
Yeah, exactly.
The same way.
Danny.
No, Jane, who took her life.
Yes,
probably not Jane. I'm assuming. Yeah. Track 13, Mine.
Comes a time in a young man's life he should settle down and find himself a wife. I know that you're mine.
Nice. Oh, come on. This album's musically schizophrenic.
It is.
It's real. I think. Like, come on.
But it's great.
I know. Like,
I feel sunshine, 'cause I know that you're mine.
I love this song.
it's great.
Comes a time in a young man's life when you should settle down and find yourself a wife.
That is mine.
That was fantastic. Musically fantastic.
Yeah, I think musically schizophrenic is a great way to describe this record.
It's all
over the place. Like a song like that, you know, like it's totally different than a song like "Give Yourself a Try" or "America Likes Me."
Yeah,
or "I Like America."
yeah.
Likes Me. Track 14. I couldn't be more in love.
At the best of times,
Very
I'm lonely
80s.
very 80s keyboard band.
I can't find something to show you now. And these feelings
I think we just got a key change there.
so what about these feelings
Wow.
I've got?
Yeah, the album closes very strong.
Yeah.
Like the second last track, but
Feelings I've got.
Wow. Woo. Fuck, this just brought me back to my BMX and a Slurpee.
I would say another banger.
Another banger. I'm gonna make a big bold statement right now. That for me was his best vocal performance.
Oh, I still think it is.
He when he hit These Feelings, I think it was.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
I don't know how he got it.
Yeah, I still think it's his best vocal performance.
With the Yamaha DX7 setting on the keyboard and the sound of the guitar and the 80s feel,
Yeah.
he really matched the 80s feel of the 80s vocalist. Like
Yeah.
he had a James Ingram, Michael Bolton, and there was like some of this, you know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
That
yeah.
he had that kind of shit going on.
Yeah.
So that it really fit the sound that we're going for, and you know, I think there's part of me that he likes the 80s. He's
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
There's something there.
They're a fan of the 80s. for
yeah
sure.
yeah.
Track number 15. I always want to die. Sometimes.
Nice tuning. Ah,
This
yeah.
is what I said. Some of it felt very 90s. To me, this
Yeah.
is like a 90s sounding song.
Yes. No. Yeah. No 80s here.
I bet you thought your life would change, but you're sat on a train again. Things you said never really meant.
I like this. This might. Wow.
It's one of my favorites.
It's getting me wiggly inside.
This line kind of feels like a punch that got though. It's
Yeah.
That's one here.
It's your death, it won't happen to you.
Oh,
It
yeah.
happens to you from the end. Your friends are pretend.
Yeah. You know what? 90s.
Yeah.
This album's really surprised me. Like, I think I could make
A playlist out of
four albums out of this
Yeah.
album. What a big track to end it, eh? Oh,
You smack your nose?
yes. You hit it on the head with the 90s.
We got like 30 seconds of
Okay,
some
let's-
instrumental.
Okay. Johnny Greenwood
Yeah.
doing some soundtrack work. Love the cello there at the end.
musically schizophrenic, but that is the album that I really kind of. I was a big fan of the 1975 first two records, but this one kind of sold me and told me, like, when I heard this record, I was like, okay, you know, it's not all hits, it's not like a flawless record, but
Yep.
I heard it and I was like, okay, they're here to stay. They're not like a band that's gonna be, you know, gone after two records. Like, you know, they did their second one. I liked it. To me, this proved like, okay, they can do a lot of shit. Like they can really experiment, and they're a band that can stick around. And they probably will stick around. And, you know, we're going into 2025 and they're supposed to have a new album coming out sometime soon. So your opinion on that song and that album?
I absolutely loved that track, and I love the ending of it. I just love the power of it. I love you made the reference right away, and then I'm thinking, actually, I'm spitting. That's what happens when you get old. You start spitting, and fluids come out of your body.
The
all over.
90s reference.
The 90s reference, and I was like, okay, well, you know what? I can hear an Avril Lavigne type of production of that. You know, we got the guitar. You know, I hear that.
Yeah.
And I hear it coming, but then I'm like, well, it's not really. Holy! Then it hit with the big part.
That line, I really like that line. You know, your death doesn't happen to you; it happens to your family and your friends, and then boom!
Yes,
it's like all at once it comes in.
Yeah,
and I do love the lyric. You know, if you can't survive, just try.
Just try. You know, that was a great line. Yeah,
it's one of my favorite off the record. And then the record in its entirety. How do you feel? How are you feeling?
You know what? I'm gonna be frank as frank can be. Definitely for me, if I'm going between the two. I know. I'm just gonna say. I just have to say, like, I've got to just make my point here. Is
foreign
that
language? Yeah,
that's an album. It's just like
it's front to back.
It's front to back. It's absolutely fantastic. This here. Like I said, there was tracks which I commend them for trying and doing different things. Mm-hmm. Like the man who fucking danced with a robot,
or whatever,
married a robot, fucked a robot, whatever. Yeah. That could have been gone. There was a couple of tracks there that were
good, but like, you know, didn't.
Yeah, cohesively it didn't fit. Does it have to fit? I don't know. People might enjoy it that way, right? For me, I really do like an even flow. Shout out to Pearl Jam. I just like an even flow in an album where you have ebbs and flows and stuff like that. And for me, this could have been, I think it could have been maybe, I'm going to say 3 separate albums.
It almost feels like a record that you could play on shuffle and it wouldn't really matter that much.
Yes.
A song Mine is like full jazz, horns, everything.
Oh, you're crazy.
They could just go a full record like that and people would be happy, or they could go with the more experimental stuff. They could go, you know, in a full 90s sounding one, a full 80s sounding one, whatever they want. I feel like, you know, they're good at mastering any sound.
Yeah, and Matty's voice is absolutely so versatile,
very adaptable to whatever.
So whatever he wants to do, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say the band is on point. Yeah. They are really, really, really good at what they do, and the sound was fantastic. It was just some songs that just didn't ring out the way that being funny.
I had a lot of fun today. I hope you had fun.
I had lots of fun. It was good. It was great listening to. His voice again.
Take care, guys. I hope you had fun, first and foremost. I want you guys to have a good time, so hopefully you did. If you didn't, then tell us why. Well, what can we do to make you have a good time?
Yes.
And
we might want to not know those answers.
I was gonna say.
I'm not reading those answers.
Yeah, but you can let us know, and we won't read them. No, take care, guys. We love you, and we'll see you soon.
Much love.
Peace.